Game of the day. Poland versus StarFlash250. Max versus Max.
What is going on, everybody? Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, folks, we have a match on Catatonia. This is a triple base airporting comm tower supported matchup. No HQs on the map here today, folks. We are dealing with labs. That's what we got going on here, folks. And we have a max mirror between StarFlash250 and Poland. This is a rivalry that is probably one of the more better known rivalries on the site here, folks. These two have been going at it for a long time. And you know what? Sometimes Poland wins, sometimes StarFlash wins. But today we're going to find out who wins once again, folks. So, if we take a look at this map, we can see here that we have two bases versus one base on either side here, folks. So this would maybe be considered a strong front. This could be considered a strong front. This would be a weak front. This would be a weak front right here. Now, there's a couple things that you can do on a map such as this. One thing that I have seen done is busting out the artillery out of this position, then going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting it right there and immediately putting a lock on this base here. That is one strategy that I have seen on this map quite a bit, folks. But aside from that, you know, you can put a lock on it, but then you are in direct range of this base here, which could bust out the tanks and cause you a whole lot of problems here, folks. But if you dedicate too many forces to attacking this base, then you forego capturing this section of the map. Now, you could use this base to go down here and capture some of the properties down here, but once again, you are foregoing attacking the base right here. So in a max mirror, you don't really have to worry about the artillery too much, considering Max does not really have any substantial indirect play in Advanced by Web, being the direct combat specialist. But for normal people, that is definitely a possibility. But in a max mirror, folks, it's just going to be tank city. It's going to be tanks. There's probably going to be some more tanks. There might be some big tanks. There might be some little tanks. There might be some stinky tanks. And there might be a little bit of classiness up in the sky. You never know what's going to go down, folks. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds because you got to get the infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advanced by Web, folks. After all, #2 priority in Advanced by Web. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action, folks. But we can see here already players are going for those neutral bases. You gotta get the neutral bases, folks. #3 priority in Advanced by Web is unit count. You gotta get that unit count on the field. Now, sometimes I cast matches that are a little bit lower elo. You know, maybe some less experienced players, folks. But today, we have two very experienced players. So we are going to be seeing some top tier play. Let's see. Let's see what these guys decide to do on a map such as this. Alright, we can already see that we're having some early tanks here. Well, not early, but early-ish. Well, basically right on cue, more or less. But we can see we already have something very interesting. So 2 infantry diverted from this base over here, deciding to capture these. So this will be able to either jump down here. This will be able to jump in the middle. This one's going to be able to cover that one and then be able to immediately start covering this property right here. And Poland basically doing the same thing. Might decide to skip this property right here, might decide to skip this property, or could go for the property and then go over here afterwards. But there is a nice chain from this property to this property as well. But this infantry obviously is going to be going into the center, then putting pressure over here on this. This guy's going to be going over here, but he's not going to be able to now because of this based flippin' lander play. Landers. you got to get them on the field, folks. Landers are super important, but this is a very nice play over here from Mr. Po1, because this is going to slow down this capture chain so much. So much. And StarFlash could mimic it. You know, he could mimic the play right now, but Po1 is going to be able to at least get to this position here, and if he gets to this position, this property is going to become available. So I think that's a pretty cool play, especially very early on in the game here, folks. So let's see how this works out for him here, because it is now day 6 and the tanks are rolling in. Yeah, we got the block over here as well. So StarFlash definitely mimicking the strategy here. I think it's a very nice strategy, so well played indeed. Got a mech over here from Po1 as well. Interesting little mech purchase. And mech is actually coming in clutch right now, because StarFlash sent this tank down here. If he didn't build this mech, tank might have been able to get away with a shot somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, tank would have gotten away with a shot on this infantry here if it wasn't for this mech. Now that the Macho Mech Randy Savage is on the field, folks, this tank is not going to be able to hit anything here at all. So, based mech, folks. Alright, day 7 is upon us. And the infantry once again are rolling out, acquiring the properties in the top corner. This infantry is going to grab here, then grab here. That is a much better chain to send this infantry over there. Now this guy's going to be able to come down here and focus fire on this property right here, acquiring that very soon. I just noticed that there's a whole lot of 3-star terrain over here, folks. Maybe tier 3 options could potentially involve some lashery to get that extra firepower bonus, folks. So could be very nice. Alright, not really deploying too far into the corner over here. StarFlash is playing very defensively, playing very passively. Doesn't really want to push into this situation yet, especially because he doesn't have an extra tank. Maybe if he had one more tank, might be worthwhile to push into there. But all things considered, folks, pushing into a strong front with your weak front, especially very early in the game, not necessarily the best play that you could possibly do. Might even be one of the worst plays you could possibly do, but who knows, folks? Who knows? Alright, we've got a tank right here. Is in range to be hit by a tank here, but the mech coming in clutch, being a fantastic little deterrent. And, ooh, secondary tank now in the center of the map. That is what I'm talking about. Alright, Po1 taking a very, very nice position here early on. Got 2 tanks in the center. How will StarFlash be able to navigate this situation? Can't even use the lander as a potential getaway as well. The lander is now blocked in, unable to go anywhere. That also exposes the HQ, i.e. the lab, to potential capery. Now, because he can't block the, you know, this guy, doesn't really have to worry about it too much. That is a nice, decent block right here. So that will allow StarFlash to take an early advantage with that tank hit right now. Nice, beautiful move right there. I think it was well timed and well prepared right there, folks. Now, Po1, once again, has 9 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock, folks. Definitely suffering a little bit with time. One thing I do see from Po1 is he is a very good player, but he does sometimes struggle with time. Not really too often, but sometimes he can struggle with time. StarFlash on the other end, you know, he's got time to spare, like, the vast majority of the time. Like, he is absolutely no problem with time. Absolutely no problem with time. The few times that I have managed to play StarFlash in a few games, you know, he's quick. He's a quick guy. He's fast. Fast like Sonic. Fast like Sonic the Hedgehog. Or maybe a StarFlash or a Flashy Flash. You never know. StarFlash, though, definitely a fast player. Alright, day 9 is upon us. And we got another infantry engagement over here from the StarFlash. Boom, there goes an infantry right there. Been taken out of existence. And we got another strike down here. A property being flipped. Potential property being flipped right now. And another engagement. This tank versus this tank right here, the StarFlash versus the Po1 tank, they are battling it out, folks. And I'm actually kind of surprised, but it looks like Po1's tank, which got first struck originally, is actually the tank to lose this engagement. Now, that's mainly due to the defensive bonuses of the city and the no defense of the shoal. That is the main thing here, folks. But yeah, you know, the damage has been done. That was a fat hit. That was a fat hit right there. Oh my god. PHAT, by the way, folks. Big fat hit. Alright, mech definitely going to be getting some value now, folks. I can guarantee the mech is going to come in here, blast this tank. Oh yeah, would you just look at it? Look at that flipping damage from the Macho tank. Macho mech. Randy Savage. Rest in peace. You beautiful, beautiful son of a gun. Another infantry taken down. And that tank has been taken down. So now, yeah, things are looking pretty good. Pretty good over here for Poland. He's managed to take quite a few hits. Losing this tank to that mech hit, I don't know if it was like a jitter sort of thing or what. I'm not really sure what happened here. Let's just double check that. Like, did the tank even move? The tank did move, right? Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, so that tank moved there, but then this tank moves over here. Might have been a misclick. In all reality, it could have potentially been a misclick. That's entirely possible. But anyways, so this is the situation that we are in now, folks. We have ourselves a situation. It is StarFlash's turn. Now, is StarFlash out of the game just because he's lost a couple tanks? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But he is going to have to get some damage done this turn. And eliminating that tank is a perfect way to start. Doing some pretty good damage against the infantry here, threatening a double flip right now. And this is a pretty substantial double flip because this is going to require both tanks to interrupt, which is going to make the tanks unable to go into the center of the map to cause havoc over there. Like, they have to go over here to interrupt. They have absolutely no other choice. The infantry, not going to do enough damage. This guy, not in range. Like, what is this guy even doing? He's like nowhere. He can't do anything from that position. Oh my god. Savagery. And the mech. Oh no. The Macho mech. He's down to 1. He's alive though. He's alive. Our hero, the mech, has not fallen yet, folks. He is still in the game. Will he be able to do anything else before the end of the game? That is definitely the question that everybody watching this video is wondering right now. What will this mech be able to do? But now StarFlash, all of a sudden, I was saying, Poland had a really good position right here in the center, but now StarFlash, out of nowhere, flashes his way like a flippin' light beam into a strong position into the center of this map here. Tank's not really in position, could potentially pop a max force. Pops a max force, he could get first strike on this tank over here, but then he would be foregoing these two properties here. And losing an additional property right now to Poland would probably be not really that good. Like 15,000 income, kind of difficult to fight with. Not impossible to fight with, but kind of difficult. I mean, you can get your double tank infantry every single turn, and that in itself is very nice. But if Poland gets 18,000 income, he can buy a classy medium tank and then buy some infantry from either of these fronts, and that'll force StarFlash into a tech-up war that he can't really afford at the moment. So, yeah, smart move. Smart move from the Poland. You know, you gotta do that. Also, I was thinking about Poland was purple, but no, StarFlash is purple. Obviously, StarFlash is purple. But either way, that would still start a tech-up war because that would be 17 to 16. So technically, Poland in the lead at the moment. If he acquires this property, that is going to be 18. So he could still do that tech-up war. StarFlash is about to acquire this property. This property. Okay, it's going to be 18-18. That's what it's going to be, folks. It's going to be an 18-18 game. The tech-up war could potentially start at that point. If we have that 18-18 across the board, yeah, tech-up war can definitely happen, folks. But we have more units being blasted in the center of the map once again. StarFlash doing massive damage over here. Absolutely massive damage. And you know what? It would be really nice if it was possible to go over here and hit these guys with a tank, but these guys are just, they're not in position because they were forced to do the interrupt. Now, this tank can even move down here and cause even more problems here pretty soon. And if this pipe seam ever gets broken, folks, that is a direct line of attack to that base, so that is very dangerous. StarFlash busting out the battlecopter. Here we go, folks. Here we go. We got a battlecopter on the field. Now, it would seem that StarFlash is way ahead right now with 24 units to 17 as well, but I have seen Poland come from behind with like half the amount of units as his opponent before, so I would definitely not count him out of the game yet, especially when he uses a super co-power, folks. The flippin' max blast. That's what we got going on. We got the flippin' biggest direct combat specialist in Advanced Wars using the super co-power, +2 movement, additional firepower. Let's see what he manages to do with this one. Eliminates an infantry. Eliminates another infantry. Oh, he's going to strike both of the 9 HP tanks in the center of the map. That is going to be absolutely massive as I accidentally pressed the wrong button. Here we go. We are going to go back. Boom! Right there, folks. It has been eliminated. This guy's definitely most likely maybe going to be eliminated. But he has to attack from the city. If he doesn't attack from the city, he's going to leave himself vulnerable to an attack right here. I'm not sure if... that's really, like, you know, a good thing or not, but boom, attacks from the city. Yeah, Poland knows where to attack from. He's a smart man, smart guy with a big smart brain. There we go. Got the anti-air on the field in order to counter the battlecopter, but now StarFlash has the super co-power, but it looks like he's going to be holding on to the super co-power. He's not going to be popping it right away. What could be the possibilities? What could be the reason why he's holding this co-power right now? Probably because he just doesn't have anything to attack. Now, once the battlecopter gets to the center of the map, that is definitely going to up his momentum when it comes to these attacks, but he's got to plan out. He's got to wait for a solid moment in order to move in and do that damage. Boom, another infantry eliminated off of the field, another property interrupted here. StarFlash just throwing wave after wave of units trying to flip that property. But no, oh, you hate to see it, folks. You absolutely hate to see it, but it happened. Yep, it happened. Now, I think more than anything, probably what StarFlash is trying to do with the constantly trying to cap this property is he's holding back Poland's tanks from immediately going into the center. That has to be the only reason. I mean, there's not really any other reason to just willy-nilly continuously try to cap a property that is guaranteed to fail every single time. More or less guaranteed to fail. Now, it might not necessarily guarantee to fail, but I mean, more likely than not, it's not going through, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 flipping tanks in the middle of the map. That's a lot of tanks. A lot of tanks, folks. No tanks. No tanks. Battlecopter in the center of the map. Alright, StarFlash, once again, moving forward, once again, going for that cap, being a delay. Just delaying the armies over here. Another battlecopter on the field. Alright, so StarFlash, definitely a fan of the old battlecopter, folks. We all see battlecopters. We all like battlecopters. There's no problem with battlecopters. I love battlecopters. Battlecopters are great. So, gotta get them on the field, folks. On a map like this, too, battlecopters are pretty good. Considering that there is a lot of terrain here, they're a lot more mobile than, you know, the good old-fashioned tank. And Poland knows it. So Poland busting out a battlecopter of his own. But finding more first strikes over here, folks, like, that is absolutely massive. Doing the damage to the army, folks. StarFlash at 5 tanks, Poland at 8 tanks. 8 flipping tanks on the field. But maybe this is the turn, folks. Maybe this is the turn. This is the turn. This is the turn. This is the turn that I have been talking about here, folks. This is the StarFlash Super Co-Power Max Blast turn. Let's see what he manages to do with this one, folks. He's going to move up. He's going to just one-shot a tank, like, out of nowhere, folks. That guy had absolutely no chance. That tank gone. Out of here. Out of the game. This tank, boom, big damage right there. Could potentially follow up. Is the 6 HP going to be enough to clear the 1 HP? No, it's not. Absolutely not. Why would that work? It's impossible. Now, it's not impossible, but it's improbable. Improbable is the word that I'm looking for here, folks. These battlecopters, though. Battlecopters came in clutch. That was a big hit over here. Very nice. Now, all of a sudden, once again, StarFlash in the lead. Absolutely in the lead. More or less. More or less, folks. 69,700 value to 66,200. They bust out more tanks. More tanks. Poland responds with a power. The old max of force. Classic Advance Wars 1 power, folks. You love to see it. It's not as powerful as the Advance Wars 1 power, but, you know, it's got the same name, so whatever. Is what it is. Boom! There goes an infantry. Big old tank strike. We have an anti-air attacking a tank. That is a bold strategy. Very bold strategy indeed, folks, but he went for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Safe battlecopter. Even with limited time, folks, Poland is still counting tiles. He's making sure that he's not in range to be hit by a battle copter. That was a big flipping counterattack. Holy moly. That was a savage counterattack. Absolutely massively savage counterattack. Oh, so remember that property that had absolutely no chance of being flipped here, folks. There is a chance that that property might be flipped here. There is a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Yes, I'm saying there's a chance. Oh, wow. That was a big hit. Big savage hits. The only way that this property can be interrupted now is with a retreat of this unit, a KO with either the battle copter or the tank, and then an attack on this infantry. That is it. That is the only options at this point, folks. And if that goes through, StarFlash is going to be in the lead. He's going to have 19 to 18 properties. Poland currently in the lead with 19 properties to 18. So 1k ahead temporarily, but in the grand scheme of things, folks, like I was saying, these leads, these like 1k leads, they're not substantial enough that it's going to be like a make or break thing. For a max mirror, as long as you can buy your tanks, you're fine. As long as you're within tech up range, you're fine. More or less. So let's see what happens here. We're going to see, yeah, that's, oh my god, it survived. Wow. Alright, that's a flip. That is a flip. What a flipping Giga Chad battlecopter over here surviving that attack. Like, what's the roll on this? Like, you would think that this would be a guaranteed attack. Oh, wow. Get that out of here. Blech. Ooh. Okay, so it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, but there is a possibility. So, I'm kind of surprised. Actually, honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I thought for sure that was going to work. But, anyways, here's what it is. We got the classiest unit in Advance Wars by Web, folks. Poland busting out the classy medium tank, because you gotta get the medium tanks on the field. It's number 4 priority in Advance Wars by Web. Is stay classy, folks. Stay classy. Alright, Poland base skipping as well for that classy medium tank. What a classy fella this guy, just base skips. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful, folks. Now, for those of you that may say, oh, Sammy, but base skipping is bad. Why would you do a base skip? Well, base skipping is bad sometimes, but if you base skip with a plan, it's not bad. Base skipping without a plan is a terrible idea. Base skipping with a plan to get a classy medium tank on the field so that you can destroy your enemy, that is a good plan, folks. That is a good plan indeed. Get the classy boys on the field. Base skip for him all the time, folks, but StarFlash, no need to base skip to get his classy medium tank on the field, because he's got the funds available in order to do so, folks. But we are on day 16. 16 days so far, folks. And StarFlash is actually almost out of time, which is something you don't normally see. You don't normally see this guy run out of time too much. Now, normally he probably doesn't run out of time too much because he's fighting players that are a little bit less skilled than he is, you know? So he doesn't really have to use as much time. But when he's facing somebody like Poland, you know, he's definitely got to use a little bit more time, because Poland is a clever guy. He's a clever fella. And if you just go forward willy-nilly doing whatever against somebody like Poland, well, you're going to have yourself a bad time. You're going to have yourself a bad time indeed. Alrighty, folks. Let's carry on with the match, because we got classy medium tanks to see, and I want to see what they're going to do. That's really the whole reason I'm here today, folks. Got to see what the classy boys are going to do. Boom, another tank has been eliminated over here from StarFlash. Anti-air sitting inside. Little cheeky transport right there. You love to see it. Very clever stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. That is not in range to be destroyed next turn, so that's a great spot. Possibly one of the best spots you could put it. This is a 19 to 18 game right now. Somehow this infantry got through the defenses over here and is now in the back lines, threatening to do a 10-day capture on this airport if nothing happens. So you gotta watch out for that guy. Oh boy. All right. Ooh, that is bold. That is a bold move right there. That is definitely available to be hit. So yeah, that's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. You always go for that hit. 10 out of 10 would hit again. The other thing that could potentially happen now is Battlecopter could potentially finish this off, but Battlecopter might be more worthwhile going over here and attacking this Battlecopter. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I don't even think that would be that bad of an idea. I think that might actually be what somebody might consider a good idea. Yep. No, see, people consider things. People consider good ideas. This lander also sitting right here, probably also a very good idea. You know, just defend it. Make sure that this guy is going to be able to rush over here and just completely obliterate it when StarFlash uses the super co-power and or co-power, which would do a lot of damage. It's going to do a lot of damage, folks. Don't want that to happen. Another classy medium tank on the field. Po1and playing a massively classy game here, folks. But StarFlash sitting at 58,400 value, folks. That is like not necessarily the highest amount of value that you could have, but it's not zero, so you don't have to worry about it. As long as your value isn't zero and you're still in the fight, folks, that's what it's all about. Now, we have a super co-power activated. Po1and did not put the lander right here, though. I think that might be a mistake. Unless, I don't know. Like, I don't really see any other reason why you wouldn't want to put it right here. Because once the classy medium tank rolls out here, eliminates this, that's a clear shot over here. Worst case scenarios, you also have a clear shot right here. So, you know, one way or another, like, there is a Battlecopter that's going to be destroyed here. Now, Curiosity has caught me here, and I just want to see how much damage we're going to be dealing with here. Yeah. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough damage. Alright, let's see what happens here. Oh, big shot. That is also a big shot. I don't know. I don't know which one would be more worthwhile to destroy. I think probably this. But maybe this? I don't know. If he goes for this, he loses the anti-air. That's the big problem. If he goes for this one, the anti-air is safe. Wow. The defense is on that boy. Alright, well, he goes for this one, which is fine. He's still getting through. He's getting through StarFlash. Oh my god. Is he gonna lock that airport? What an absolute unit. Po1and probably gonna be busting out a Battlecopter this turn, though. Yeah. Yeah. Our James Bond, our friendly little James Bond down here, definitely not going to be acquiring the airport, but we have to commend this little guy for his heart and his determination, folks. He snuck past the front line, past the classiest units in Advanced Wars, past the tanks, past the Battlecopters, the infantry, over the rivers, on the shoal, marches down the beach for 2 days, only to be met with a Battlecopter right in his face at the very end. It is actually, honestly, it's a tragic story of the soldier that just could not finish his mission. He tried his best, folks, but, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you just don't win the war, and that is unfortunate. Very unfortunate, folks. But, you know, gonna give a clap. Give a clap to James Bond, 2 HP down in the corner. You know, he's all alone. He tried his best, but that's it. But, once again, it is now StarFlash's turn. What is he going to do with James Bond down in the corner? This is what I really want to know now, folks. Like, what's going on over here? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what's going on over there. There's going to be properties that are getting interrupted. This is like... the only thing that can save this over here is the classiest unit in Advanced Wars, folks. Yeah, you bust out the classiest unit and you save the day. Big hit over here too, and I think that is out of tank range. Yeah, you know what? That is out of classy range right now, so that is not too shabby. Builds another classy unit. Lovely. On day 19 now. Day 19. Po1and eliminates James Bond. Might be one of the saddest deaths in Advance Wars history right there, folks. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, but this is what happens in Advance Wars. Sometimes the units just do not survive. But Poland not pushing into this. He's going to pull back. He's going to be defensive. He's got a lot of injured units over here. That unit count is going to be dwindling very quickly here once these units push out and take these guys out. But with 3 of the classiest units in Advance Wars threatening the center of the map, it will be difficult for StarFlash to push out into the center right now, folks. You could potentially go over here, but you know, 2 medium tanks versus 1 medium tank. You know, the 2 medium tanks win that fight. That is just that's just the simple truth, simple math right there, folks. There's nothing really that you can do about that. Another medium tank on the field, though. That is definitely something you can do about that, folks. A medium tank versus a medium tank. It's an even trade, more or less. Got yourself a good fight right there, folks. But 3 medium tanks to 3 medium tanks. Yeah. This is looking pretty good, folks. I'm not going to lie. This is a very classy game. I hope that it stays that way. If anybody builds a soiled abomination, then I'm going to have to edit in a soiled abomination up there. And we just don't want to see that, folks. We want to see less soiled abominations and more class up in this game. That's what it's all about. Boom, Poland taking a massively strong position over here. 2 medium tanks on 2 3-star trains with the power that does equal 140% defense on this right here. So very strong. Another one. Yeah, got another one on the field, folks. Poland does have to make something happen here, though. This is the plain and simple truth of the game. Is Poland right now is behind, technically, even though StarFlash is at 77,700 value, and Poland is at 109,500 value. The thing is, in Live League, once the day 31 hits, whoever has the most properties is declared the winner. Right now, StarFlash, 19 properties to 18. Poland has to flip a property. If he does not flip 1 property somewhere on the map, or at least capture the neutral property, this is a StarFlash game. So this is what needs to happen, folks. He needs to go for a property, needs to flip it, needs to have himself a happy little drink afterwards, and just chuckle to himself. That's what he really needs to do, folks. But is he going to be able to acquire that chuckling giddy juice, or is he just going to end up drinking his own salty tears or something like that? I don't know, folks. I don't know, because I followed this game, but I actually didn't really watch it. So we are finding out together what happens, folks. But what is happening right now is classy on classy violence, folks. The 7-5 trade. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh my god. And he sacrifices the tank in order to get a max force. Mid-turn max force. Now, what could potentially occur from the mid-turn max force? Well, there's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is a lot of potential damage that can happen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, some potential damage that can happen here. So I'm thinking one of 2 things, right? So either tank moves up here, eliminates the infantry, anti-air moves in here, takes out the battlecopter, first strikes the medium tank. That is a possibility. But this would actually also be able to first strike the medium tank, and this would be able to move over here, clear this medium tank right here. That would leave Poland in a very strong position in the center of the map here, folks. I think that might be what he's planning on doing. He might have a different idea, but I think that's what he's doing. So let's see. Yeah, he's going to move in with tank. Okay, so moves in with anti-air. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to do it. He's going to flip and blast this guy. He's blasting away, folks. Look at these blasts. That was some good blasting. It's the kind of blasting that is worthy of a Live League game of the day, folks. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. Now this medium tank is definitely vulnerable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not. Wait, yes it is. It's only vulnerable to a super co-power though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So if the super co-power is activated, this is vulnerable. But that's it. It has to be a super co-power. That's the only thing. And there's a property that's being flipped down here from Poland. If Poland acquires this property once again, folks, that will put him in the lead. And that can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. for StarFlash. StarFlash doesn't want that to happen, folks, so he's going to activate the Super Co-Power. He's going to one-shot the classiest unit in Advance Wars, which was injured, but still kind of a one-shot, so I'm going to call it a one-shot, because that's what it was. It was one shot, one turn, one shot, one opportunity. Sees everything you ever wanted. That kind of a thing, folks. That's what we got going on. Boom, manages to get through, manages to attack and delete the infantry and build another classy boy. Like, I swear on Nell, folks, these guys out here playing a classy game, folks. I love the fact that Advanced Wars is getting classed up over here, cleaning up the place. Now, once again, folks, for those of you that are building the Soil Abominations and Neo Tanks, just invest in soap and all will be forgiven. It's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna fully judge you. I'm only gonna minorly judge you. For, you know, I have too built some Soil Abomination, folks, but I am on a path to redemption every single day I play. I resist the urge. I do not build those soiled ones anymore. This is a flippin' dangerous situation, folks. Situ-flippination over here. Poland is going to have to pull some units back over to his base because StarFlash, with another James Bond, 2 HP infantry over here, is trying to cap the base. Now, the one really dangerous thing about this infantry capping this base right here is that this infantry cannot stop it. This infantry could attack this. But there's some joint cap potential, so the battlecopter definitely needed. Definitely needed in this situation, folks. And the lander has been eliminated. Lander has been eliminated. Eliminated from the game. But it's day 24. Once again, Poland one property short. It's one property short. Is he going to be able to acquire it? I just don't see where he's going to be able to get the property from. This is a okay. That's vulnerable though. This is a vulnerable base because, like, yeah, these can move in and attack. So it doesn't really have to worry about this too much. Like, he is going to get the base back, but I mean, it's kind of a nuisance because now he's not going to be able to build units out of there. And you need infantry, folks. You need some flipping infantry on the field to capture some properties. Boom, got an elimination right there. Anti-air moving in. Boom! What was I just saying about him not being able to build units? Well, I mean, tactically now, he can build units because he has the path to success. The pathway to success is opened up here, folks. And he survived. The classiest unit survived the attack. You love to see it. Okay. You know what? If I was StarFlash right now, I'd be considering capping this lab. Day 25, 7 HP infantry. Yeah, I probably would cap that lab at this point and just put myself a little bit more ahead. Poland is 1, 2, 3, 4 days from being able to capture the lab. So I think that might not be too bad of an idea in order to go for that. Let's see if he's gonna cap. If he doesn't cap the lab, I don't know. I probably would have liked to cap the lab. I mean, at this point, you know, I don't know. You just maybe he won't get the lab if he goes for it, but maybe he will. That's the thing. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. But yeah, at this point, we need to get a property at least, and having a nice security blanket would be very good. 6-9, beautiful. All right. Max force. Got the max force on the field, folks. Let's see what he does. He's going to be attacking a medium tank. He's going to be attacking a tank. This does open up a path to success right here, folks. There is definitely an attack. Doesn't really do as much damage as I would like to see it do. Definitely would prefer a little bit more damage on that one, but it's not too bad. I mean, I don't know. Is what it is. Is what it is. But now StarFlash is going to go for this property, and it's not going to get it. Like, if he went for this lab, if he went for that lab, that would have put him at a technical 20 properties, I guess. Well, technical 21, because he's already got a lab, but I'm not going to count that lab. I guess I should. That would put him at a tactical 21. And Poland would be at a... Well, would it put him at a tactical 21? Because he would have 19 plus comm towers 20. 21 would be his lab. So that would be a tactical 22. And Poland's sitting at a technical 20. And then if a property does get flipped, it's a draw. I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think it would just be a draw. Oh, Poland. 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 He might be getting a flip here, folks. 3 HP sacrifice. Is it possible to get a 3 HP sacrifice? Might not be enough. This is still vulnerable. Oh. Ooh. That's dangerous. That's danger. This is danger. We're in danger territory over here. Has to get it. Yeah, he's got to double tap it. He's got to go tank anti-air right now. That's like the only possibility. Well, I guess he can go tank infantry. That's fine too. Yeah, take out the infantry. These guys, they're causing problems. All right, got an elimination. Got an elimination. He's got interrupt potential. Oh, is that enough? Okay, yeah, luck roll. Luck roll it. Yeah, get through. There we go. There we go, StarFlash. That's what it's all about. Luck rolling your way through. That's what we gotta do up in here. Gotta be rolling those dice. Roll the dice. Get the KO. That's what it's all about. And they say luck is a skill, folks. And, you know, they're probably right. Yeah, Battlecopter has to attack that. See, now, if the infantry captured this, he would have got it. He would have got that, folks. He would have got it. He would have got it. That's all I'm saying. If he went for the lab instead of the property. Lab's just as important as properties, folks. It doesn't give you income, but at this point, it's day 27. You don't even need income. You just deal with the income, use the income you got, and that's it. That's all. All right, day 28. It's still 19 to 18. Okay, so, yeah. So now we have a problem because this is going to get flipped. Poland is going to be able to flip that property. Like, there's... Oh, maybe not. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I see what's going on here. It's going to need something big, though. That's one of the problems. Anti-air clears this. Anti-air clears this. Tank clears this. Yeah, it's getting flipped. Getting flipped. There's not enough units. That's the problem. There's not enough units over here. Poland is going to be able to get another flip. It's gonna happen. I don't know if he'll get 2 flips. No, he's getting 2 flips. He's getting 2 flips over here, folks. Oh, Poland, day 28, rushes in here, blocks in the classiest unit, and he's going for 2 flips. He's gonna get 2 flips, folks. Oh, he gets 1 flip. All right, he gets 1 flip. Another elimination, though. Oh, why aren't we going for this, though? We could get that. We could get that. Why is he moving here? He should move here. Get the lab. This infantry right here. I mean, I guess it's too late. It's too late. He would have had to start the cap. So Poland gets this property. He might even get this property. Yeah, he's going to get this property. That's 2 flips. 2 flips! 2 flips and the classiest unit of the sky joins the fray. And all units has been eliminated. Poland is the winner here today, folks. What an absolutely massively massive battle between these guys. 2 legends of the game battling it out. Advanced War style, max style, full direct combat. What a beautiful game. What a beautiful game between these 2 guys. So, yeah, you know what? All things considered, even if StarFlash did capture this lab, I think Poland still would have won by like 1 point either way. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, labs are very important in Advance Wars. When it comes to Live League, they do count as a property in the end total, so do go and cap those labs sometimes. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that one today, and if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or a subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.